This is going to be a quick video on a budget frame repair fix using just plate steel. We got some pretty good rot here. I've already fixed this other side, so that we're going to do something similar. There we go. So there's the plate steel. It's welded mostly around. Steel's so rotten, it really sucks to weld too. There's this other side. Most of this area cleaned up. For cutting out the plate steel, I'm using my CAD design, which is my cardboard aided design. Already got it like pre-cut out, kind of just laid out. I'm leaving an edge here so I can weld on the inside and the top before. We're just going to put this piece by piece, and we'll make the next piece out of cardboard as well. And I'm going to have to section this off where I don't have enough plate to do this all at once. There's a few tools you'll absolutely need. Obviously you'll need a grinder, you'll need a welder as well, and sharpie and box cutter. That's about all the tools you'll need for this. Couple grinding wheels, couple cutoff wheels. I'm going to actually be using a plasma cutter to cut these sheets out, but you can absolutely do it with a grinder. It just makes my life easier. But you got the sheet laid out. I don't have any sheets that are long enough to fill this piece of cardboard out, so we'll have to do it in multiple sections. Yeah, I'm going to cut this out. Right, now that we got our piece cut out, matches our cardboard template, we're going to be cleaning up the edges. Obviously, if you used a grinder, you wouldn't have to do this because they've already been cleaned up, but since I used the plasma cutter, all these edges are oxidized. Alright, now that we got our piece cut out, cleaned up, time to fit it up. Which, this is going to be difficult to do one-handed, and I don't own a tripod, so sorry for all the cuts. But it doesn't sit flat. So we're going to end up bending this, putting it in a vise, and probably making relief cuts. On this piece, you can see where I welded down those seams. I cut about halfway through the plate to bend it in the vise. So I'm probably going to do about the same here. And once I get that done, I'll bring you back. Basically, just since the frame isn't straight anymore, we're just bending this plate so it follows the contour of the original frame. You could do this in different sections. You could just chop that plate about right in half and make it into just two pieces, but I like doing it this way. Alright, got the relief cuts made. I went just over halfway through the plate, and we're going to start putting this in the vise and start forming it and bending it to the contour of that frame and just checking it as we go. Forgot to mention, but I'm going to be using a Crescent wrench to bend this plate into shape. Right, so we made all of our relief cuts, bent it, and now she fits fairly flush. That only took me, I don't know, less than 10 minutes to get that to fit perfect. And now I'm going to weld these stringers, or weld these relief cuts shut, just like this plate over here. And then we'll be ready to tack this piece on. When we go to tack it on, we'll just tack it in place, but make sure you got bare bright metal. This is not clean metal. This still has a rust scale on it. You want metal looking like this. Can't use a wire wheel for the whole thing because you will have tons of porosity. Found that out mostly the hard way on that one, but now I know better. I'm going to be using a die grinder. You can use an angle grinder. Die grinder, you can just get into these corners a little better, and yeah, that'll be that. Alright, so we got this piece tacked in several places all the way around. Just holding it in place. And now our next step is going to be weld this out on pretty much every piece of steel that it can be welded to. I'm not going to be able to weld underneath here, but what we're going to end up doing is putting another plate underneath here so we can weld, basically just boxing this all in, and we're going to make new frame. So, weld this all the way out. Well, it's downpouring outside now, but almost stripped. Welded this plate all the way around, and now we're basically going to repeat this whole process. So the reason with this cardboard, I left a lip here, so when we take this next plate, we're going to take one on top here, and we're going to also put one on the bottom. That plate will just get welded to each other. And then that'll be it. I'm gonna do this bottom one first. Using the cardboard template, that helps out the most. Alright, we got a couple more templates made. This one's gonna be on the bottom side of the frame, and then this one will end up going on the top. And got the steel laid out. Gonna chop it up and do the same thing all over again. Alright, so I got those new plates made and all tacked in, and they were all welded up. And we got the bottom plate on, and we also got that top plate. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a 2-inch strip and plate from here over. It's kind of gonna be a little janky, this one, but somebody's already done a fab work repair on here before. This ain't my truck, so I'm just gonna tie into what they previously did. I'm gonna put one of those strips here, about to here, probably a 6-8 inch strip, just to cover all that hole there. So I got those little 2-inch tabs welded in all the way across. It covers up all that rot. It's pretty good material that I got into, and then on this side as well. And then next step is going to be getting plates cut for these, which I actually already got templates made, and the plates have already been cut. They're right there, using the same design, just cardboard cutouts, and it's going to go together pretty good. We got those 2 plates welded in. It was last night when I finished them up and didn't have time to take a video or anything because it was about 11:30. These plates are welded all the way around. I decided to go against welding anything on the bottom as I found some pretty good steel, and I don't think it needs it on the bottom. That metal's still pretty solid, but they're welded all the way around, and this is gonna be the final product. This side took me a total of about 8 hours, maybe a little less than that, but she's boxed all the way around. And then same thing with this side. This side had about 6 hours. I had a total of 13 hours that I built for this job. So there's a pretty budget friendly way to fix a frame.